Alright, motherfucking Buddhism and shit, right? So it's this rich ass motherfucking kid, right? This motherfucker's so rich, like his dad don't want the fucking sunlight to hit this motherfucker directly and shit, right? He don't want the moonlight to hit him, right? He has these fucking umbrellas and shit, so like the moonlight won't even fucking hit him, right? So he grows up just hella rich, right? He got a house over here, right, in Hamptons or some shit. He got a fucking house over here, right? Goes to Hawaii in the winter and shit, right? This motherfucker be fucking well off and shit, right? Anyways, so he like grows up and shit, ain't no nothing, right? And then like one day like goes out with his driver and shit, right? And he sees this motherfucking sick dude, right? Fucking begging on the corner and shit, right? Dude be hungry as a motherfucker. So he says, hey man, what the fuck's up with this dude, right? And the driver tells him, like, hey, that motherfucker hungry, man. You ain't never been hungry. And dude's like, I don't fucking get it, right? Anyway, so he goes back home. He comes out another time, right? And he sees this motherfucking like sick dude, right? The dude got the drip or some shit. I don't know, right? He says, hey man, what's up with that skanky dude over there, right? And the guy be like, hey, that dude like sick. That happens to everybody, man. You ain't never been sick. He's like, fuck, I don't get that shit, right? Anyway, so go out again, right? Third time, right? And he sees this fucking dead ass motherfucker, right? Ambulance there, like picking this shit up, dude, right? Motherfucker like in some fucking gutter or some shit, fucking alleyway shit, right? Anyway, so he says, hey, what's up with that motherfucker? And he's like, that dude fucking dead shit, right? Right? So motherfucking, he's like, I don't get it, right? He's like, that happens to everybody, man. Everybody motherfucking gets hungry. Everybody motherfucking gets sick. Everybody fucking dies and shit, right? And he's like, whatever, right? I mean, it starts to thinking, right? But he's like, whatever, that shit never happened to me. Anyways, so like gets married and shit, right? And has like this fucking just boom, like badass motherfucking wedding and shit. Anyways, has like a fucking long ass honeymoon, like motherfucking like 10 years or some shit like that. Long ass time, right? Just be fucking like dacking it up, right? He's got some fucking crazy wife and shit. Anyways, like they fall off some fucking like they'd be like having sex in like fucking crazy places, right? So like fall off this building and shit, right? And they'd be having sex in like midair and shit, all kinds of fucking like crazy shit, right? They fucking land on the ground and like a bunch of like rose petals and shit, right? Like some fucking fairy tale and shit, right? Anyways, so his fucking wife, right, gets pregnant, and his motherfucking like he hears like, oh, his wife's in fucking labor and shit, right? And then like boom, he's like, fuck that shit, right? I ain't going over there, right? Oh, that'll fucking like if I fucking go over there, I won't be able to leave and shit, right? Because he'd be loving some motherfucker, right? Anyway, so he's like, oh fuck that, I ain't never going back. So he never goes see his kid, right? This motherfucker like fucking deadbeat motherfucker, right? He be having to play child support and shit nowadays. Anyways, he don't see his wife, he don't see his kids, he goes off, right? And he's like, fuck this shit, and he like finds all these fucking people, they be teaching him all kinds of shit, right? He gets all sucked up thinking like that's gonna help or some shit, right? Like, oh, I'll find peace if I don't eat nothing, right? Some motherfucking like crackhead or some shit, right? Anyways, so go through all this shit, right? And then fuck, he's like so starving, he's like, man, fuck this shit ain't doing nothing, right? Anyway, so like he goes and sits down by this tree, right? And this fucking chick comes out and like gives him just like half a grain of rice and shit, right? This motherfucker ain't eating it forever, so he's all full and shit, and he's cool, he's just chilling there, right? And then he's like, fuck, starts thinking and shit, right? Anyways, and like he gets tempted with all this fucking shit, right? Of like fucking all this crazy shit, like a bunch of dactyls come over, they be trying to get on him and shit. He's like, fuck that, you know what I mean? All this crazy shit. And then boom, right? This motherfucker has this fucking like thought, right? He's like, boom, this motherfucking like just like, oh, you know what I mean? It's fucking crazy, right? And he just like gains this motherfucking enlightenment for the world, right? This love, and he's like, fuck, man, like everything's impermanent, right? And fucking I need to stop being like attached to all this shit, right? It's the same shit he fucking thought about, fucking like, you know what I mean, a grip fucking years ago and shit. When he left his fucking peoples, it's just he just finally fucking realized it, right? Anyway, so that's basically like Buddhism in a nutshell and shit. Motherfucking Buddha. You need paying some motherfucking child support. Needs motherfucking have a sandwich. I mean, he's cool, he's legit, you know what I mean? But really, I'm just saying there's some like scandalous shit in that dude's past. But you know, whatever. Like, that's cool.